What's going on, guys? My name is Maddox, and today we're going to talk about when you should upgrade your weapons. Now, why is upgrading your weapons important? Because they obviously increase your damage, they increase your ability to clear content, and as your world levels up and enemies become harder, you'll need better and better equipment to continue to deal the damage required to get through these challenges. Now, why do you want to upgrade some weapons and not other weapons? And it's all about not wasting your upgrade material. Where do you get upgrade material? Upgrade material comes from two places. The Cecilia Garden, and if you go here to this question mark and change daily, it shows what upgrade materials are available which day. I'm not going to go through everything because you can see it here, you can read. I believe in you. And the other location is the Hidden Palace, and then you have a different set of upgrade materials available for your weapons. Both of these locations are specific to weapon upgrade material. You'll also notice that in both locations on Sunday, you're able to farm every type of weapon material that day. So I don't recommend farming on Sunday in these locations, just because if you want to get your weapon as good as it can be, as quick as it can be, and not waste resources, you should farm on the specific day they're available, even if that means you have to wait a little bit. Now, going into wasting resources, why would it be a problem if you use these weapon ascension materials to upgrade a weapon you're just going to toss to the wayside or not use? And it's because to gain these materials, you have to use your resin. And your resin is only available so much. You only have so much of it. So you're not wasting materials, you're wasting time. And you don't want to waste time, nobody does. So when do you want to farm for these things? Do you want to have a huge bank of them? Do you want to have all different kinds of them in case something new drops? You do not. You want to farm for these weapon materials when it's most beneficial for you and for your time. You want to farm when you get a new weapon and you're trying to level it as quickly as possible. Or let's take, for example, my prototype Rancor. My prototype Rancor cannot be upgraded again until Adventure Rank 40. So prepping for Adventure Rank 40, so when I hit Adventure Rank 40, I can level this as quickly as possible, is very important. You don't want to prep too much and have too much material, because when you get blockaded like this, that material that you have sitting around isn't doing anything for you when the resin you could have spent on either gold or experience tokens, or potentially even a new artifact set, which you might be trying to farm later in the game, that's going to be more beneficial to you than sitting on all this upgrade material you can get whenever you want. Now let's go on to weapons that are actually worth upgrading. Weapons that I believe give you a large benefit. Let's head over to the blacksmith. I'm not going to talk about all of the weapons. I may do a later video reviewing and talking about the weapons in each class, and if you have those, which ones you should focus on. But because I'm more free to play, because my resources are limited, I'm going to show you the guaranteed available weapons that you should be going for and which should be upgraded. Now, between the claymores already, the prototype Rancor. The on-use hit effect with Crush is great, the base attack is great, you gain bonus attack percent, all of it's fantastic. The weapons you want to look for mainly have a good base stat and a good secondary stat. The effect can be very beneficial as well, like Crush, or the 5-star weapons do have a significant advantage with their effects, but you're mainly looking at these two stats, especially early on when you're deciding what weapon to level. I don't believe you should ever ascend a blue weapon, a 3-star weapon, because you will replace it with a 4-star weapon that could last you a lot longer, and you don't want to waste those resources, you don't want to waste that time. So what weapons in this crafted section are worth crafting, and why are they worth crafting? So for claymores, we already talked about the prototype Amethyst. White Blind can be potentially useful for Noel, but if you're going to have a claymore class, let's say you have Diluc like I do, or you have Chunkyun, both of which are very strong characters, you're going to want to focus on having a harder hitting weapon, a more valuable damage weapon. So I think the prototype Animus is going to be your go-to. For swords, here's where it gets a bit different. The prototype Rancor is a lot better early on in the game when you're not trying to chain elemental damage, when you're not trying to really optimize your compositions just yet. You're just starting out, you're just trying to get something that's going to hit pretty hard, right? The prototype Rancor you get for free, I believe, at Mastery Rank 10. I could be wrong on that, but one of the mastery rank rewards, you get a prototype Rancor for free. It is a good weapon. It is worth upgrading. My prototype Rancor I have ascended and is level 70 currently. At this point, if I get any more Northlanded sword prototypes because I'm getting later into the game, Iron Sting is a better weapon late game comparatively to prototype Rancor. It is a more mid to early game weapon. Because it has elemental mastery and it doesn't have bonus physical damage, the elemental mastery and the effect are going to scale significantly better later on than early on. So if you want to take the hit early, when you finally get another Northlanded sword prototype to craft, I would recommend for a later game going on to the Iron Sting. But if you want to, feel free to refine the prototype Rancor if you would like. Going into pole arms, looking between the two, I prefer the prototype more than the crescent pike. The reason being, the prototype is something that you activate. Personally, it's not something you gain. You have to use a skill, and it gives you an attack damage bonus, whereas the Crescent Pike, after picking something up, you might not have the control of the situation to reliably get this effect going for you. So I would say, look towards the prototype Grudge. It's pretty reliable in terms of using its effects. The energy recharge is also beneficial, because you can go, wait, that's not damage, but it is damage because it helps your ultimate recharge significantly faster compared to the other weapons. Now is where we get a bit of a divergence with the catalysts. The Mapamare is certainly more for a damage build. You might not have many good damage mages early on, maybe with a free draw. You can get something like a Mona. Barbara can also potentially be built for damage, but the other thing that's available for you, or you can go to the prototype Malice. When you use an ultimate, it regenerates that energy for you, and when it heals all of your party members. So let's say you put this on a healer like Barbara, who scales with HP and is built for healing. So you get an additional 4% every 2 seconds for the duration, which means you get an additional 12% HP on all party members. Very beneficial. And to note, these are weapons that you're going to be able to farm their catalyst prototype for, so you will be able to refine these weapons. It's why I recommend them so highly, because you will be able to refine these no matter what you're doing, free to play or pay to play. Going into the bows, it's a bit of a damage variance here. The prototype Crescent is more for aimed shot damage on weak points, so if you're using your charge shot a significant amount of time, it's pretty good, but I think the compound bow overall outshines it in usefulness just based on its damage. For Fischl as a main DPS, this weapon excels spectacularly because Fischl scales with attack speed and increased attack damage, especially if you have some of her constellations. So the compound bow I think is worth more than the Crescent for you, and it would be worth creating and upgrading. But anyway, that's it for this video. I didn't go into all of the current available weapons because there's simply too many to put in a short condensed video. I just wanted to show off a few things you'd be able to reliably get that you could potentially start putting resources into early on. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.